Good evening, everyone. I'm Ruchita, your host, and I welcome you all to today's session. Today, we are going to understand if all fats are really just bad. Are we having enough or are we having too much? What is the correct omega 3 to omega 6 ratio that we should be consuming? We're going to understand some harsh realities and impacts of it on our health. To discuss this and much, much more, we have an esteemed speaker with us tonight. Deepika Vora, born into an army household, she has the discipline and commitment to succeed. And she's someone who's walked the talk, hence, has the conviction from her personal transformative journey. I invite you over to listen and really, really benefit from her experience and paid keen attention. Over to you, Deepika.
Thank you so much, Ruchita. Good evening, everyone. I hope you are ready for today's session. For me, this session could have been one of the most dreaded topics of my life till about 2 years ago. I didn't want to be a part of any conversation which was talking about health and fitness. I never wanted to be a part of any conversation which was talking about what is the ideal body weight. I never wanted to be a part of any conversation which said, let's have a workout regime and let's follow a particular diet, because मुझे ये सब बहुत बोरिंग लगता था और मुझे लगता था कि अगर ये सब करना है तो फिर जीना किस काम का, व्हाट इज लाइफ ऑल अबाउट इफ यू कांट ईट व्हाट यू वांट टू। और मुझे लगता था कि अगर मैंने ऐसे किसी प्रोग्राम का हिस्सा मैं बनी तो आई विल हैव टू गिव अप ऑल दैट आई हैव टू, and what's the whole point? But little did I know, till I became a part of this program, that it can be as exciting. And trust me when I say that it can be as exciting, it can be as enjoyable, and yet be very, very, very informative. And certainly a learning and understanding of the concept for the rest of my life. So, yes, we do these training sessions, but the objective or the idea is not that you have to sit with a pen and paper. You are not going to be giving any exams, but yes, it is certainly a subtle reminder every Monday and Friday for us to probably make you aware of something more than what you already know. And if you already know, probably reiterating what you already know, because repetition certainly helps us register things for a longer period of time. Trust me when I say this, that every single time I talk to you guys, I also find out something new. I learn something new. And if I don't find something new or learn something new, I certainly am more sure of what I'm talking to you about. Talking to you about simple acronyms like EPA and DHA and this and that. Yes, we don't remember it in our daily lives, or kai bar, off the guard, if you ask me what it is exactly all about, I may not be able to upfront tell you, but when I have read this and gone through this and heard Raj and Anu and Anaita and Veda and Farooq repeatedly say, somewhere it gets registered. So as long as you are tuned into today's session, you are listening what I have to share with you, some of it a part of my journey, some of it that I've learned from these gurus, I think that's more than sufficient. Like Farooq always says, I hope you've had your dinner and you're probably trying to wind up from the of this day, wind up this day, post this session. Let's get started with today's session. Okay. All right. So today we are going to be talking about fats. We're going to be talking about harsh realities. It is scary, but it is a very, very, very interesting subject. Now, I mean, as recent as just about half an hour back, between me and my husband, we were thinking that we need to switch our, cooking medium. So we resort to maybe a, wood pressed mustard oil and stuff like that. So we ordered a very, very expensive, a very, so to speak, well-known mustard oil brand 2 days ago. And Joe Hame, whatever we come to know, I just thought, let me see whether, it freezes. So I kept it in the freezer, and to my utter dismay, because that's the claim of the so-called company that, at any temperatures, it's not going to freeze. Will you believe me if I tell you that that bottle almost froze up to 40 to 50% of it, and I could actually see the creamy palm oil or whatever oil that layer is. I don't want to show it here because I don't want to get into any kind of, name taking. But all I want to tell you is that, things like made with honey, no sugar at all, absolutely, preservative free and organic and etc., etc. If they are saying so, fantastic. It certainly makes life easier for you to at least pick up that brand from the bigger lot. But what is more important is for you to at least go through the labels a little more yourself, because saying that it's full, it's with dry fruits, etc., and then having probably 0.5 percentage of dry fruit in the entire composition of that food item may not be a very good idea to consume thereafter. So yes, let's understand what are fats and what are the harsh realities that we actually uh, don't come to know, but we definitely put inside of our body. Now, harsh reality, how high sugar, high fat, processed foods, alcohol, and smoking damages your body and health. This is just a symbolic representation of जो हमें लगता है कि low fat Greek yogurt, low sugar, energy drinks and flavored water. I mean, I actually see people drinking flavored water, but adding something which is not sugar, but it is sweet. So that scares me, honestly, after having known all of these concepts a little more in detail than the average, individual. You talk of your pasta and pizza sauce, you talk of your juices, you talk of your chocolate bars, you talk of your some of the flavored cider, vinegars, you talk of all of these things, yogurts, etc., etc., low calorie ice creams and stuff like that. All of these carry on an average 3 to 4 cubes or 3 to 4 spoons of sugar. So what we feel can, it's sugar free, even something which is low on sugar still ends up putting in unnecessary sugars in your body. So we need to be a little more careful. And I'm almost quite certain that people who are also not so much active on the group in terms of their participation, the fact that we keep reiterating this on the group every now and then, we would have definitely made them a little more aware as of today than when they actually started coming, when they joined the program. Misleading brands, sugary cereals. I mean, a lot of fiber and, lot of multivitamins and this and that and micronutrients. Read them in detail. They may not be actually close, not even close enough to what they are claiming for them to be. So I'm not going to spend too much of time on these slides. Yeah. Now, what is the impact? These habits are very, very addictive and they can persist. So, I was actually watching some nutritionist speak the other day, certainly on one of the social media platforms, and he's very, very renowned and very well acclaimed also. And he says, and which is very true. He says, you grab a pack of chips, you grab a pack of snacks, munchies, etc., etc. Why is it that whether or not you're in front of a TV or whatever, your hand keeps going back into that bag, wanting more, even when you feel that, you've had enough, you will still probably want to grab another small portion of it. I don't know आपके साथ ऐसा होता है कि नहीं, मेरे साथ बहुत हुआ है, मतलब I'm a veteran as far as eating junk and eating wrong food, wrong timings is concerned. So I know it has happened that, chalo, koi nahi na, it's just 50-gram packet, it's just a 40-gram packet, kitna hi hoga, So I've done that. So they are designed in such a way, they have such elements in them which will want you to have more and more. They will leave you craving for more of it. So it's very addictive. You want to go back to that packet, you finish the packet, you might want to open up another packet. So you need to be very careful. It definitely has negative impact on your overall health. Anything that you associate with bad health, it could be depression, it could be lethargy, it could be tiredness, it could be sluggishness, it could be high sodium content in your body, high salt, high preservative, severe impact on your gut and your liver health, your mood swings, like I said. They can definitely impact all of these parameters, maybe all at the same time, maybe some at the same time. Some can be more accelerated, some may be a little delayed, but they are bound to affect if that is the way you live your life on a regular basis. What is the impact of these foods on your gut health? Certainly, they create an imbalance. Humans by nature were designed to eat more of raw, more of readily available food items. But we have progressed to an era where, I see, especially in Bangalore, people are ordering in cut fruits. Now, growing up, I have always heard my parents and our elders talk about, even the salad that you cut in the afternoon, perhaps you should not eat at night because it's already been cut for a long time. And definitely for fruits that, you're not, if you're eating a fruit, cut it, eat it, and get done with it. But when you are subjecting your gut, subjecting your body to highly processed food, a food which has probably been on the shelf for a very long time. I'm even talking about the fresh food, which is your fruits and vegetables. How much sure are you that the fruits and vegetables that are coming into your household are of this season and not preserved since the last season or the season before? Now, I know you cannot do much about that because we certainly, all of us can't be growing fruits and vegetables. Who will fly our planes? I understand that. But at the same time, whatever it is that you can do, we need to be cautious about it because they will severely impact your gut bacteria. Your good bacteria, which are bacteroidetes, will go significantly down because there are other contributing factors also along with the food that we eat. We've covered those topics in terms of your workout regime, in terms of your sleep pattern, etc., in other sessions. They will also disrupt the gut motility. Gut motility is basically the speed or the rate at which the food gets, it moves in your gut from your stomach to your intestines and thereafter. So the more processed food will affect your gut motility. It will also increase the gut dysbiosis, which is basically the overall environment of your gut, the good, the good bacteria, etc. It will get affected. And definitely, most definitely, it will result in a weight gain. Now, why are we always talking about weight gain? Because on an average, if you look at the individuals across any age bracket, across any gender, uh, we are more on the heavier side than on the other side, the lighter side. Most of us are overweight. I know, as per the record, as per even though like Veda and I, we are really wanting to be on this program 10 on 10, I still know that we are at least far away from our ideal body weight given our age, given our height. So that is why we focus on ideal weight, or we focus more on weight loss, because the moment you are closer to your ideal weight, most of the things should ideally start falling into place. It's not all the time, but most of the time. So yes, it will result in weight gain. Now, imagine, how does these processed foods and these misleading labels really affect you? Some very common examples of salad dressings, processed snacks, energy bars, like I said, sugar-free items, could be your colas, could be your ice creams, could be your cereals, etc. Eating out, and dairy products. Now, I, for one, I think I can literally live my life on fruits and raw salads. And even when I was not on this program, I used to love having my salads. But the only problem was that my salads were only filled with the most fanciest of dressings that you can think of. I mean, as recent as yesterday, I was just thinking about the time that, you talk about mayo, you talk about honey mustard, you talk about sweet onion, you talk about Caesar, you talk about South. All the heavy salad dressings used to be a part of my salad bowl. So it was more of a disaster bowl than a first, being a salad bowl, a healthy bowl, so to say. So while we say that we are eating healthy, and while we say that we are eating organic, while we say that we are eating low calorie, low sugar, etc., etc., read into the labels. Be sure of what's going inside your body. Now, this is something that we all are aware of. Let's move forward. Coming to fats, like carbs, we repeatedly say carbs are not the enemy. It is what you're having along with, and at what time are you having your carbs is more critical and essential and key to your diet. Similarly, fats, you have good fats as well as bad fats. Now, what are bad fats? It's more than evident. It's your deep fried food, it's your sugary sweet food, it's your rich in oil food, which are probably like margarine, french fries, donuts, pastries, etc., all the bakery items. uh, Processed meats, people really resort to the most fanciest of processed meats that are available in the market. They look very tempting. One, we don't know what's gone into it. Uh, it could be anything and everything. And two, they are very high on sodium. They're very high on in salts. They're very high on preservatives, and certainly the hydrogenated oil. While on the other side, what are the good fats? So fats are also good. I mean, you can enjoy the good fats and stay healthy and lose weight as well. Your good fats are your avocados. Now, a lot of people still may not be exposed to or aware of avocado. That's absolutely fine. You have eggs, you have coconut oil, you have raw nuts, a handful of nuts every day. The best time to have it is in your, around your breakfast. A salmon fish is a good idea if you're a non-vegetarian. For vegetarians, you have flax seeds, but then there is a limit to which you can have for it to cater to your daily fat requirement as per, daily advisory. Your organic butters and your organic nut oils, your wood pressed and so to say cold pressed oils, etc. They are your good fats. So identify the bad fats in your kitchen, try and eliminate them from your household, because as long as the product, the item, the food is in the household, trust me, either you are having it or somebody else is having it. It is very, very difficult as a human tendency for us to see something and say no to it. And I think that is one reason why we are where we are today. So it's best to get it, completely eliminated from your household. It results in slower digestion. It has a severe impact on your gut microbiota. It is increased risk of gut inflammation, again, altered gut mobility. Your bile production and absorption takes a hit. So see, while on one side we say that the bad food, the food like this has a negative impact, the moment you replace it with the food that you're supposed to have, your good fats, your complex carbs, they will do have an absolute reverse effect. They will be easier to digest for your body. They will support and promote your gut flora and your gut microbiota. They will be anti-inflammatory for your body. They will have enhanced and improved gut mobility. So when you have too much of processed food, too much of starchy, fried and sweet food, it will slow down the gut motility. But when you're having a fiber-rich food, more protein will have a delayed digestion. It will help, but it will help you stay satiated for a long period of time. So while protein takes its time, but it helps you not to actually binge eat, and it is easier for your body and definitely improves your bile production. Now, harsh realities of your processed food, definitely they are very taste to the tongue for the palate, but they lack nutrients. And because they lack nutrients, yet they need to be promoted, yet they need to be sold across the counter. They are, such items are usually very close to the cash counter, very, very strategically placed. They are very, very fancy looking in one of the most fanciest, bright and colorful packaging. But you need to make sure that you are able to see through that packaging. You're able to see through that urge to quickly go and grab that pack of chips, etc. They give you a lot of empty calories. They have a lot of artificial additives. They certainly impact your digestive health. We said, they affect your gut microbiome. They are addictive in nature, and a lot of hidden ingredients. Now, the more you start reading into these labels, trust me when I say this, you will stop picking these up from the shop. As recent as just about last week, I don't know whether I, shared it with you earlier or not. I was shopping, doing some grocery shopping. I picked up two items which I thought were absolutely fresh, and because I know my family likes to have them. The moment I flipped the packet, the second most contributing ingredient was palm oil. So yes, it was a savory, it was a salty snack, and I had to keep it back because knowing what I know, I could not have actually paid money to get something into my household, because एक बार वो घर में आएगा तो फिर वो खाया ही जाएगा. So that is a decision that you need to take when you're standing across the counter. Now, what happens when you, in this consumption? Just give me a second. There's a problem with my screen. I'm sorry. Yeah. Harsh reality of alcohol consumption. Definitely your behaviors are impacted. It has a severe impact on your memory. Your reflexes slow down. Why is it that since time immemorial, people have been saying that don't drink and drive, don't drink and drive? Because when you do that, your reflexes are so severely impaired that you will not be able to take that prompt action or reaction to a situation if you come across one. It certainly results in nutritional deficiencies. And the problem with the individuals, and especially in India, I have seen is that alcohol consumption is not just about alcohol consumption. Alcohol consumption is also about what is it that you're consuming along with it. So you will have salties and you will have savories and you will have unnecessary chips and snacks and namkeens, etc., etc. And thereafter go ahead and have your dinner. So even before you are about to have the lightest meal of the day, you are already about 1,000 calories down in your evening snack, so to speak. It has increased risk of accidents, like I said, vulnerability to disease because your gut gets compromised, your liver severely gets compromised, trying to filter out the harsh effects of alcohol. fetal alcohol septum disorders. Women these days, they drink. I mean, it's up to them. Yes, they do. But expecting mothers are also, indulging into these habits, which is an absolute no-no. And it definitely affects our heart, the cardiac system. So one needs to be very careful. Harsh reality of smoking. आप तो जो कर रहे हो, the people who are with you, so you need to, if you are doing it, you need to, firstly, you should not be doing it. Two, where are you doing it? Is your bad habit also affecting others who have nothing to do with it? It has impact on your physical appearance. You will start aging faster. It will show on your skin health. It will have severe health risks for sure. Impaired metabolism and nutrient absorption, decreased microbial diversity, altered microbiome composition. Now, whatever we are learning, whether we are talking about fats, whether we are talking about processed food, whether we are talking about alcohol, whether we are talking about smoking, do you realize that there is a common denominator which is saying that your gut motility, your gut health, your vital organs will be impacted, your microbiome will get affected. So all of them are resulting in this. And imagine if you are probably indulging in all of these habits, which is eating out, frequently eating processed food consumption, drinking and smoking, what a toll it's going to take on your health in the long run over the period of next couple of years. Impact of high sugar, fats, processed foods on your organs. Now, when we talk about high sugar, since I've always been very, highly been overweight all my life, I still remember I once went to a very, very renowned dietitian in Gurgaon. And, she just told me, she says, Deepika, tell me what it does your everyday, food habit look like. So I shared it with her. And no, she first asked me that, Deepika, do you have a sweet tooth? I said, no, 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 I don't have a sweet tooth. She says, okay, tell me, what do you do in a day? I said, I get up in the morning, my bed tea with one or two biscuits or maybe rusk. Then I have my breakfast. I usually take a, glass of cold coffee. She says, with sugar, without sugar? I said, no, no, just cold coffee is with sugar. Okay. Then I go to office. Then of course I have, a cup of tea around 11:30, 12, maybe a biscuit or two or something. Then I have my lunch. She says, do you have sweet after lunch? I said, usually in office, you have a meal. So they give, if they give, I have it. Then around the evening, 5:30, 6 o'clock, I have my cup of tea and I have, a cookie or two or something. And then at night, mama usually makes, sometimes I take that pudding or not. She says, do you realize the amount of sugar you're having? You can't, you need your tea with your proper sugar, 2.5 spoons. With every cup of tea, you need, a biscuit. Why am I telling you this? A lot of times we don't even realize कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं अपनी body के साथ. So to me, after having all this, I was telling her that I don't have a sweet tooth. She says, you are addicted to sugar. You need sugar every time you're having a cup of tea as well. Forget after meals or before meals. So maybe it's time for us to take a pause and just go through what are we doing in the day. What is it that we are doing with our body? How is it impacting my liver? How is it impacting my heart, my pancreas? So every time I'm eating, as it is, every time you put something in your mouth, your pancreas will immediately get active, insulin will be released, etc., etc. But what if you are actually overloading your system with such high sugars and such processed foods? What impact is it having on your kidneys? If you're having so much of processed food, or packaged food or food from outside, all of this also takes a toll on your kidneys because there's a lot of water retention in your body because of these processed food. It has an impact on your liver because your liver is the cleaning agent. It has to detox all the food that you're putting in your body. Your heart has to take care because if you're having such high fat, high starchy food and fried food and food from outside, it's going to have problem pumping so much of blood for in your body because your vessels will get restricted, the movement of blood will be very restricted, so on and so forth. So in totality, this impact is bad. Sit down and identify what is it that you can probably cut down in your daily diet, what is it that you need more. Speak to your health buddy, share your meal plates so that we can guide you properly. Yes, I will continue to say this in most of my sessions that you need to share your meal plates because the ones who are sharing are literally seeing a very, very significant impact, and they're progressing towards a better health. They are progressing towards getting closer to their actual physical age. Their biological age is reducing, which is fantastic. Kudos. The conclusion for this part of it is yes, you need to choose your wellness over sweetness. And while I say that, We nowhere say that, you have to stop all of it completely. You will never have it again. What Farooq always says is do it in moderation. If you think you've gone overboard one day, what is it that you can do over the next 3 days, in the next 48 hours, in the next 1 week, that you can negate the impact of what you've just done with your body? Say no to high fat food once in a while, once in 10 days, once in 15 days, once in a month. The lesser it is, the better it is. But, probably reward yourself after achieving your next goal. That is a good idea. From farm to fork, choose fresh, skip the process, walk down to the nearest sabzi mandi. It will also give you a little bit of NEAT, which is your non-exothermic activity thermogenesis. Burn some extra calories, not really doing something actively, but something, as a part of your daily routine. You will be able to get better looking, not better looking, but more healthier and fresh vegetables. A vegetable which is absolutely 10 on 10 in appearance and a food which is 10 on 10 in appearance may be more susceptible to being a little more gene modified. It's probably a good idea to pick up a vegetable which is not ideal in shape, because that may be more real and more fresh and more organic. Raise the bar of self love. Quit alcohol while you can, and elevate your overall well-being. Free your lungs. There's a lot of pollution as it is in your kitchens, in your household, on your road, in your city, etc., etc. If you can try and eliminate the pollution from the smoking that you do, it'll help you and your family members as well. Coming to knowing your dietary fat, what and when to eat. Like I just said, eating is not a problem. What you're eating and when you're eating is absolutely key to having a good lifestyle. Now, what are fats? Key ingredients, key nutrients, which is essential for your body. They are basically the energy resource for your body. They are concentrated source of energy. They are subset of lipids. They are our body's backup mechanism. They are our body's stress cushion. When your body is under tremendous stress, that's where your body digs into your fat stores to actually absorb the shock or whatever it is that you're going through, the stress that you're going through. It is found in both animal as well as plant foods. क्या करता है फैट हमारी बॉडी के लिए? लाइक आई जस्ट सेड, गिव्स यू अ लॉट ऑफ एनर्जी. आपके सेल फंक्शन को इंप्रूव करता है, प्रमोट करता है. Our brain is, big chunk of it is majorly fat. It improves and it enhances your brain function. Insulation and protection. So while it is very good to be skinny, but fats, good fats around your essential organs give a lot of insulation and protection to your body internally. Nutrient absorption में बहुत help करता है from the food that you eat, because जो खाना आप खा रहे हो अगर उसके nutrients नहीं absorb हो रहे हैं तो that's an absolute waste. Fats help absorb those nutrients. It also promotes and helps in hormone production, cushioning, like I said, soft around your soft organs, regulating your hunger and satiety. Oftentimes, we eat not because we are hungry, because we are thirsty. Next, more oftentimes, we eat not because we are hungry and maybe we are not even thirsty, but we have the urge to eat something. So, when you have probably indulged in a good breakfast, lunch, or dinner, which is taking care of your satiety, you will not have the urge to go back to a snack probably an hour or hour and a half later. So you have dietary, you have non-essential fats, you have essential fats, you have polyunsaturated fats. Let's just run through them. Saturated fats, solid at room temperature, your meat, dairy products, ghee, etc. Monounsaturated fats, they are liquid at room temperature, but they solidify when they are, in the fridge. Examples are olive oil, mustard oil, rice bran, etc., avocados. Trans fats are made by heating liquid vegetable oils. They become rancid. They withstand high temperature. Sources are hydrogenated fats, sweets, fried food, etc. Essential fats क्या होते हैं? These are polyunsaturated fats. They are liquid at room temperature. जैसे आपका sesame oil हो गया, sunflower oil हो गया, corn, soybean, nuts. Now, इसमें essentially there are two types. You have omega-3 and omega-6. Now, as per the medical standards, the ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 in any average human being, individual, is anything between 1:5 to 1:7, depending upon your age, height, weight, etc. But if you pick up any individual randomly, this ratio of 1:7, so to speak, is not 1:7, it is 1:70. Omega-6 would be somewhere around 70 times more than what omega-3 is. Now you have two options, and that is when actually when you see the entry of lifestyle diseases in your life, and you will start rushing through the doctor probably for hypertension, for diabetes, for etc., etc., thyroid. So whatever you can think of. Now you have two options. One is that you reduce omega-6 from 70 to 7. The other is that you increase omega-3 from 1 to 10 so that the ratio remains the same. Trust me, it is kind of very difficult for an average human being to bring that 70 to 7, because if we had that capability we would have not let it go up till 70. But what may be possible for you to do is to probably take up your omega 3 to 10 so that the ratio remains ideal for your body. Okay. Omega 3 fatty acids, marine sources are fish, salmon, like we know, but also mackerel, sardine, and anchovies. Oysters, flax seeds, which is algae, your chia seeds, your walnuts. But the problem with flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts is that they are very, they are very hot in nature. इनकी तासीर बहुत गर्म होती है, so you can only have them in very controlled portions. Otherwise, they can have an alternate effect on your gut. So definitely you cannot have them in quantities that your body requires on a daily basis. You have ALA, which is alpha linolenic acid, EPA, which is eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, which is docosahexaenoic acid. I will just understand what they are in detail. It is associated with various health benefits because they are anti-inflammatory. They are very, very heart friendly. They help lower your cholesterol levels and they improve your brain functions. Your omega-6 sources are eggs, vegetable oil, and flax seeds. It has your linolenic acid and arachidonic acid. It contributes to your cell structure, आपके immune system के response को help करता है, आपके hormone synthesis को promote करता है. Let's just briefly understand what are these. Why am I talking about ALA, EPA, and DHA, and why are they important? क्या करते हैं ये? Like I said, ALA, it's a plant-based omega-3 acid. It is very essential for human health, but your body cannot synthesize it, so you need to take it externally. EPA is omega-3 fatty acid, which is polyunsaturated long-chain fatty acid. It is found in cold weathers, especially in fishes like salmon. It is also important for a healthy diet. It helps in reducing the risk of heart disease, like I just said. It impacts your coronary heart disease, high glyceride, and inflammation in your body, and it also brings them down by working on them. Your DHA is something which is very crucial for your brain and your eye development. It is important for your overall brain function. It also is anti-inflammatory. It is also found in salmon fish. So now you need to decide how is it that you're going to take up your omega-3 levels so high that your ratio between the omega-3 and to omega-6 is anything between 1 to 5 or 1 to 7. Now, we've just read this that, there's limited conversion of these acids, limited bioavailability hai. Nutrient profile, they are protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. They are more sustainable and have a lower environmental impact. But जो आपके marine sources के हैं, they are in the form of EPA and DHA. Direct consumption and conversion is possible. They provide preformed EPA and DHA, which your body can directly utilize and utilize. Nutrient profile gets high quality protein, so you need to have less to get higher protein. Overfishing definitely harms your marine ecosystems, but what choice do we have? Now, like I just explained to you, yes, the ideal ratio is 1 is to this. And what you need to do, you need to bring up your omega-3 so that your body has more anti-inflammatory than pro-inflammatory items in itself. Now, what is the highest source of fat? A good idea is for you to click this picture so that it's a ready reckoner. You can start from fats and edible oils. You have milk and other products, meat and poultry in a reduction. So from increasing to decreasing. But again, when you're talking about fats and oils, be very sure what are the oils that you're drawing your fats from on a daily basis. Now, what is the impact of an imbalanced fat? Very, very obvious. About 53% deaths in India are due to non-communicable diseases, but the rest come from the diet that we are having. Men 0.4 million to 9.8 million. Let's not get into these details because Anyway, coming to global omega-3 status map. Now, this is something that Farooq usually talks about when we are talking about the blue zones, that there are zones which are leading an absolutely ideal lifestyle in terms of workout, in terms of rest, in terms of clean air, in terms of good nutrient consumption, etc. Just have a look at this map, that how scarce omega-3 availability is there across the world. You see the red zones and the orange zones, that's where it's severely depleted, just for your information, so to speak. Now, include healthy fats in your morning nutrition. Why healthy fats in the morning? Just like we talk about protein and we talk about a good breakfast, why do we focus on morning nutrition? Why should your first meal of the day be the most nutrient dense meal? Why? Because after about 10 to 12 hours of fasting or sleeping at night, your body is severely depleted. It significantly impacts a good morning breakfast, your breakfast. Nutritious breakfast significantly helps you take up your metabolic rate, the rate at which your body burns calories. Your energy expenditure is high. Your nutrient absorption is very high. It helps in bile secretion. It helps in energy burning, and your body needs it every day in the morning to get going. Because if your car, if you're stepping out of your house to go to your office in the morning and your car is already in reserve, there is a big chance that, probably halfway to your office, your car will break down. Similar is the case with our bodies, that if we start our day on a depleted source of energy, it is fairly possible and most likely possible for us to probably feel the breakdown somewhere around noon, feel fatigued, feel sapped out, feel drained out, feel low on energy levels, low on cognition levels, low on alertness levels halfway during the day, and not be able to go through the entire day. Now, supplementation is extremely important. I have spoken to a lot of people over the past couple of years where people say that the food that we eat is more than sufficient. We are getting it from organic sources and we don't need anything other than the food that we eat. I respect your opinion, but at the same time, coming from what I have learned over the last decade, being in association with these, gurus of this field, one thing I can tell you, that today or tomorrow, synthetic or natural, in one way or the other, you will have to resort to supplementation because of the agricultural practices that have been going on, because of the farming practices, because of the food industry practices that are on for the last couple of decades now. Our food is severely depleted of the essential nutrients that we get from our food on a daily basis. So the choice is yours. You want to do it today, or you want to do it probably 5 years later when your body requires it, your body is already fallen susceptible to some lifestyle disease and your doctor is recommending it. It's very important for you to take that call today. We respect your opinion, but at the same time, because you're a part of this community, it's extremely important for us to at least make you aware of the facts that are available with us today. So yes, you need your supplementation, you need it in the morning, and you also need it at night in certain controlled quantities. Certain interesting facts about oil and fat. I'm not guilty of saying this because I think that was the story of most of the households while growing up. There was a practice growing up in our household where once the puris have been fried in a kadai, that oil was, preserved for the later use, because at that point of time this awareness was not there. These facts were now not out in the open. Common man was not made aware of these things. But when you reheat your oil, that is absolute pure poison for your body. Please stop doing it. Please stop reusing an already heated oil, if at all you still resort to that. Reheated oil consumption can lead to, no, it will lead to the damage of cells of your body, and it will be very toxic for your body. Hidden fats are in your baked goods, as I especially in Delhi, because I've spent major chunk of my life in Delhi, having bakery good items like, those patties and burgers and sandwiches and, pizzas and stuff like that. The kind of hidden fats that those have are very harmful for your body. They have vegetable oil. They are labeled as zero trans fat, but that's not the case. Your cold pressed oils, that is basically a traditional system. India में बहुत time से follow हो रहा है. where they say that it retains natural flavors and nutrients of the oil, certainly more than your refined oil or double refined oil, so to speak. The refinement process that these companies or these labels actually do, it is to basically eliminate the impurities and the odor, but sometimes that refinement process is overdone and it also completely leaches out the essential nutrients from that oil. So one has to be very sure of what you're getting inside in your house. Certain trips and tricks, you need to limit the consumption of fats. I'm sorry, there is this issue. Okay. You need to limit the fat intake. This is a ballpark figure for men, 25 grams a day, women, 20 grams a day. Include unsaturated fats. Resort to grilling, roasting, steaming your food. Less of air fry and definitely no of deep fry. We overcook our food, and by overcooking, we spoil the texture, we spoil the color, we spoil the nutrients, we waste too much of cooking medium, gas, etc. An al dente kind of a food where the vegetables have their crunch, they have their color, they have their textures, they have their flavor is a better idea. Instead of fatty sauces, try lemon, try vinaigrette, try spices, try herbs, try a hung curd dip, which is very very common. You can make some dressing with chickpeas in a controlled quantity. You can make some hummus, which is very healthy, provided you take it in a controlled portions. Use oil blends. You need to rotate your cooking oil. Don't just keep using the same oil. Take the skin off the chicken, trim the meat off before cooking. For those who are non-vegetarian, it's a good habit if you can do it at home, or else you can get your chicken and your non-veg well dressed when you buy it at the shop. Now, did you know that why do you need good fat through omega-3, or did you know that Indian diet definitely is deprived of omega-3 fatty acids? What we strongly recommend is Neutralite Salmon omega-3. Just a ballpark figure, an adequate intake for an average male is about 1600 mg of omega-3. For a woman, it's about 1100 mg. But what we actually take, there is a big gap between what we are eating and what we consuming and what we actually need. Uh, a good omega-3, it supports your heart health, it supports your brain health, certainly mobilizes your joints and your flexibility, helps improve your vision, it improves your circulatory health. We recommend salmon omega-3 because that is something that will help you bridge the gap between what your body needs and what you're currently consuming. Vis-a-vis, so just to give you a pictorial representation, to manage your daily requirement of omega-3, what you need to have is about some 100 eggs, 31 glasses of milk, some 98 dates, just some 46 cups of Bengal gram, and just some 57 cups of bajra. Perhaps it must be the diet of probably about a month for most of us, maybe more than a month, but you can't have that on a daily basis. And the reason why we need to resort to supplementation is because if you don't do that and on a daily basis, you are depriving your body of these essential nutrients, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, 2 years from now, even maybe 6 months from now, given the environment that we live in, it is going to have a very, very severe impact on our body. So you need to be prepared with your Suraksha Kavach so that your body does not fall susceptible to this severe gap. And with that, I hope you have been able to, I've been able to give you some information with respect to what good fats are, how can fat be our friends, how do we need to decide what is coming inside my kitchen. And trust me, fats are not the enemy, bad fats are the enemy. Please be very careful about where you're taking your supplementation from. Uh, Please make sure you and your body, your family is well supplemented, because that will help you keep most of the lifestyle disorders outside the door of your house. For those of us who already have some or the other family member already going through some of these challenges, trust me when I say this. And why do I say this? Because I know I have Farooq Tarapur standing right next to us in one form or the other, that each of these lifestyle problems can be completely reversed if you can make that U-turn today for your health, for the well-being of your family members. And finally, I'd like to come to a conclusion by saying that shine, have the best possible positive mental attitude. because there's too much of stress in the outer world. The best thing that you can do is you need to keep your calm, and you can only keep your calm when you have a healthy body and a healthy mind, because with a sick body or a unhealthy body, there are too many other things that you need to take stress off. There was a quote that I read somewhere that if you have if you have a great health, you have no problems. But if your health is not fine, trust me, you have all the problems in this world. So if you have a healthy body, I think I'm messing up the quote, but I'm sure you get the idea. You have no problem if you have a great health. But if you don't have a great health, you have all the problems in this world. So take care of your health. Please have your daily nutrition. Make sure your daily nutritional requirement is met, because that is your step one to staying healthy. Intentions, visualize and set clear intentions. You are a part of this phenomenal community because of a decision you took a while ago. Maybe you got busy in something else. Please ask yourself the reason. Why are you a part of this community? Let us know why you're a part of it. Let us help you as to how we can, help you achieve where you want to be. Learn something new every single day, because it's extremely important. It'll keep you sane as a human being. Exercise daily, work out daily, because there is nothing that can replace a good workout routine. And yes, Farokh is unavailable today, but I know I can't finish my presentation without sharing my personal transformation. And thanks to Farokh, thanks to what I have learned from this group, from this community, from our trainings, that not only it helped me get my health back in hand. It's been over a year. I've been able to maintain that. For me, trust me, for somebody who's faced this challenge all my life, to achieve something like this and keep at it at least for a year, touchwood, and still going strong, is a bigger win for me, thanks to what I have learned from this community and this group. So that's all from my side. I see we have a raised hand. If I am not wrong, that's Rupal. Is that you, Rupal? You want to say something? Good evening, sir. Sorry, I thought it's another participant. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Deepika. So very, very nicely put across. I have, in our canteen, we have a lot of oils. So one of my colleague, Commander Ashok Shinde, he's written a book on how to light 100 candles, totally naturopathic book. So he's been insisting that the canteen must store some hard pressed oil, something given. And when I inquired with the manager, he said that is very costly, number one, and they are more worried about its disposal, in the sense that they have to make some revenue also out of it. So I not been able to impress upon that. But is there any option in the market where you have a real genuine, hard pressed oil, which the can be used in the kitchen?
So,
Any fish?
yeah. So, Commander Vadera, there are a lot of options, and I am an army officer's daughter myself, so I understand the struggle to not buy from the market and probably go to the canteen. It's very tempting, and I have struggled with that with my family also. But yes, it's a choice we make. So as of today, yes, my family is full on to supplementation. Yes, we are buying our oils from outside and not the canteen, because that is a known poison which I can't subject my family to. I would rather, I can find out what is locally available in Bombay. I have been able to here in Bangalore find out some small scale, these shops which are processing oil right in front of you. Like you have an atta chakki in most of the cities. These days, you literally have shops which they say you can get your own, mustard seeds or whatever, and we will process it in front of you. So nothing better than that. I have, yes, it was a task, and it's very difficult to actually, when you can just pick it up over the counter, or you can just order in from a Swiggy or a Zepto. It is an actual activity to go to that shop and get it processed yourself. But if one is serious about, you're really wanting to, give your body the best, there are a lot of these little shops or outlets or small time companies that have come up which do this for you. So yes, you will have to try and test. You may not be able to strike upon the right one in the first go. I had to go through 3 or 4 different ones to find out which I want to actually, stick to. I can try and find that out for you in your local
Yeah,
city. And we can
I don't
also
know whether in Kharghar, New Bombay, you'll have these kind of shops. I mean,
Even if you
know.
don't have such shops, there are a lot of these small startups which, so to speak, there are ways in which you can check which oil is more the healthier than version of the others. And we can probably find that out if there is something like that available in Bombay. I'm sure there would be, but we can
Yeah.
find that out and
Yeah,
revert
that
back
will
to
be
the
very
session.
nice.
Definitely.
If you
Definitely.
can find out and just maybe WhatsApp to me or
Definitely we'll
or
do
to
that. I
Farooq,
take it upon.
get it from there. Because
That's my
one,
responsibility. We'll
yeah,
revert to
that's
you.
one thing. I think all of us are, eating poison. I'm saying
Absolutely.
for the sake of this thing and unknowingly.
Correct.
That's the sad part. It's
Correct.
like the same thing, that you must have a organic food straight
Correct.
from khet,
Correct.
have it, but that is not practical in our
Correct.
day-to-day life.
Correct. And also, if, like most of us who are on the group or who are part of this community, we are using the olive pomace oil in our households. In fact, can you just grab me that bottle? If you are into olive oil, you can use that. I can just show you that bottle.
Yeah, okay. Something
yeah.
which is
Yeah,
available.
you can use that. Absolutely. If you are into olive, there are a lot of people who refrain from.
No, no, my wife uses olive. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's it.
All right. So you can use that. That should not be, that's the perfect thing.
Okay, she uses olive oil and pure ghee
Perfect. So you can go ahead with the Amway.
and mustard oil.
Okay. So like I said, like she rightly said, most of us, I also use a combination of these oils. So you can use olive, and for mustard, if at all she uses for certain dishes, we can find that out and let you know.
Yeah, that'll be very nice if you can let it give us
Sure,
option.
I take it upon me. I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you, Devika. God bless.
Most welcome, sir. Over to you, Ruchita.
Okay, so I just looked up the quote you were referring to. A healthy person has 1,000 wishes, a sick person just one. And I think anyone who's been struggling with their health will absolutely retain. That's your number one priority when you don't have it. So yes, thank you, Deepika, for breaking it down so wonderfully. I think everyone and even these questions and the end gives us a very practical insight on how to actually achieve this, how to incorporate these changes in our lives. Thank you so much. I don't see any other hands raised yet. So you've been a great audience. See you in the next session. Do tune in and let's ensure we get our health in check. Good night. Stay safe.